the robbery scene. That's how it starts, right? It starts
Of
with
course, yeah.
some guys, they're trying to rob a bank. They come through, to the on the roof, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And we see someone holding a mask. We don't see the face.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then he walks into the bank, and obviously, they get in, obviously, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody panics. I think that bank was occupied, right? Like there were people
Yeah, it
in.
was full.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
were people that
people get out,
shoot the
obviously.
ceiling. Yep.
Yes, but the bank owner is just tired of this. It's like it's as if he had prepared for this day. Takes out his shotgun. It's like, no, not today.
Yeah,
You're
it's
not going to
because
rob me.
he's mafia, and mafia don't play. They're all thugs. They've all had a gun in their face. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
they're not scared of that thing.
right.
And yeah,
And
so you can
also,
understand. Yeah.
if he loses the money, the mafia will hold him
Mm.
responsible.
Oh
So
yeah,
I mean,
Exactly.
you have
Yeah.
to be like, hey, bruh, I tried to get your money, but you saw I got shot, man.
Yes.
Okay,
I
so
Yeah.
didn't just sit
so
You
there.
can't be the healthiest person there.
okay,
No,
so
you can't.
one thing that's gonna be constant in our whole discussion is how smart
Mhm.
Joker is. So
Yes, I was about to get into that. Yeah.
yeah, so Joker deliberately went to that specific bank because he knows that the mafia has money in that bank
Hmm.
Hmm.
to get their attention, basically.
Yes.
Jeez.
And he also took out the money that was trackable. So as crazy as he is, he's
Mm.
also very
Yeah,
smart.
he
He's
knew.
very logical. So
Yeah.
he knew step one, step two, step three. He's
Yeah.
not, as
Yeah,
much
the
as he says
radioactive
like,
notes. Yeah.
as much as he says in that scene where he's at the hospital
Mm.
with Two-Face,
I'm
he's
just
like,
a
do
dog
I look
chasing a
like
car.
someone who,
Yeah. Who knows the
yeah,
plan? Yeah.
with a plan? He actually does have a plan, which is
Right.
actually very scary for
Right.
someone
Yeah.
that crazy to have a plan when you think about it.
Yeah.
Which
Because
make the funniest memes. They're like, no, not only does the Joker have a plan, he has the most detailed plans of all the Batman villains
yeah, because it
with
seems
flow
like
charts.
Because he literally, his whole plan was to, let's see how much I can fuck up the city and let's see
Mm.
how it will fuck up. And how am I going to
Yeah.
start this? I'm going to steal the mafia's money, and then I'm
right.
going to use that money to lure Batman out, and
Right.
then
Mm.
to lure Batman out, and then I'm going to use the people to turn on Batman. Like, this was levels to this plan. This wasn't just like,
Yeah.
let me steal
Yeah.
money because I want money. And then,
Mm.
oh, wait, there's No, it was levels. It was literally planned. All of it was to get the people to turn on Batman, and it started from the
Mhm.
mafia.
Jeez. Okay. So anyway, bank robbery scene. Everybody's talking about the Joker, even including the people that he's currently working with. Everybody's wearing a
Mhm.
mask, so we don't know who the Joker is. But people
Yes.
keep betraying each other the closer they get to accessing this money.
Mhm.
And then what happens again? So the guy tries to shoot the Joker. What happened again? The bus comes in,
No,
right?
Okay,
yeah.
first we
No,
have
no,
to
I
go
think
over how clever the plan was.
Okay.
Basically, this man, the Joker, manages to manipulate the individual bank robbers into thinking that they're the chosen one, that
Right.
they're the main character. So
Right.
they backstab each other. All
Mm,
without the Joker having to do anything. He hasn't fired a single bullet the whole time.
right.
Uh, if you watch it like 50 times, you can kind of see where the Joker is every now and then. But yeah, which is kind of a precursor of what you were saying before about the Joker making people turn on each other. That's a precursor of how clever he is. Number one, it shows it's beautiful because it's like the Indiana Jones intro. You know what I mean? The original one
Yeah.
where you kind of see him in pieces. You
Mm,
see the whip first, you see the thing, then he uses the whip, and then you see his face, just so
mm,
you can see how badass he is.
mm.
It's one of the best character intros to ever exist. I'm sure we can all think of different character intros that are just absolutely stunning, but that one, that is how you describe a person without having to say a word if you actually think about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But then, yes, you're right. The final guy realizes after everyone's backstabbed each other that he's going to get backstabbed as well. So he tries to preempt it, not realizing what his backstab is supposed to look like, which is the bus crashing. Yeah.
that's
And then
actually a very brilliant bank robbery because he basically, let's say they were supposed to split the money, whatever, 5 ways. Now he's splitting it like 2 ways, and he
Zero.
didn't really do anything. He didn't betray anyone, technically, because
yeah,
he didn't
because he
actually
didn't do
do the
anything.
betraying.
This
Yeah.
guy, nobody fuck. It's like, what happened to everyone else? Didn't even guy.
Right.
And also that also now kills any link anyone can have to him. So
Yes.
if
Yeah.
one gets caught, he now is like, yeah, it was the Joker.
Yeah.
This is how we planned
It's
it. And
basically
thing.
plausible deniability, but of death, of like, like death is a guarantee that you will not say anything because you're dead.
Mhm.
Dead
Yeah.
man
Yeah,
kills, yes.
dead men tell no tales.
Right.
Mhm.
But anyway,
Yeah, so
so the guy can't shoot the Joker. Joker stops him, and then he reveals his mask only to notice that the guy has another mask, which is makeup. We don't really know who this guy is. So it's like a double thing of this guy's a layered character, basically. Even though they don't really say it like that, but what you get from it is there's so much to this guy because, side note, even when he's explaining how he got his car, it's a different story every time. So this is a character who you'll never really know where he's from, who he truly is, what his motivations are. But he's just, and that's what Alfred says also, that some people just want to watch the world burn. But like I said, side note, I digress. So anyway, the other thing that is important is, okay, he gets the money, he drives out at the exact time that he knows the schedule of the school buses. So by the time he goes out, you have no idea which bus is in because all these buses look the same. My goodness, this guy, guys.
another element of his intelligence.
Right.
He literally, and he got away by driving the speed limit. Who does that? Who gets away from a bank
Hey,
robbery driving the speed limit?
he's not rushing, nothing.
And you see the bus again, which is funny, because you remember the hospital explosion.
Right.
They even a bus. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same bus. I can't confirm that, but yeah, like I feel like this man
Probably
is
is.
on another level. Yeah.
I think that's why I'd say him and the Riddler are almost the same person. The biggest difference is that the Riddler gets fun in Batman figuring out his elaborate plans. The Joker doesn't care whether you're figuring out his plan or not. He just
Same
wants
as
to get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I
So
guess
that is actually a cold as, like, when you delve into it, when you watched it, you were in awe of it. You're like, wow, that was awesome. But now when you delve into it and kind of break it down like the way we are, you just realize no, man, like all this time I just thought Joker was a homicidal maniac. He is, but he's an insanely intelligent homicidal maniac,
yeah.
Yes.
which is very scary because you basically have Ted Bundy with what's that lady, the Queen's Gambit. You have like a chess player
Right.
who will kill you if you smile the wrong way.
It's basically a Joker movie without it being a Joker movie. Kind of like Infinity War. How Infinity War, it's a Thanos movie, but it's the Avengers, if that makes sense. Because it starts with the Joker, and his plan is so elaborate, is so great that by the time Batman gets him in the end, it's as if Batman didn't really win. Because at the end of the day, Joker still wins, if that makes sense. His plan still goes into motion even after he's arrested because of the monster he created in Harvey Dent. But anyway, we'll get there.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So what happens after the bus again?
Then but then because Batman starts, and we start to see it kind of becomes like I wouldn't say a montage per se, but you kind of get to see different cuts of him taking where's the Batman, what's happening,
Right.
and you kind of see him taking out fake Batman, and like they do like the news report thing, copycat Batman. The Scarecrow is using fake drugs to take on another one of the drug leaders, the Russian sounding guy. I'm surprised they didn't use Peter Stormare. I feel like that's his natural born role.
Right.
Right.
But they use that guy. Yeah, it was like my dogs are hungry, and that whole sequence basically happens.
Oh, the scene where the
It's basically a recap and
Yeah.
a foreshadowing as well.
yeah the
Because
scene
now they
where
put in the fake batsman in, which now will be used later, but they're also trying to let you know where, since the last movie, where we are with Batman now. Has the city accepted Batman? Is he still in the shadows?
right.
What's happening with that whole thing.
Yeah, and it's like, what makes you different from the rest of us? I don't
Hockey pants. Yeah,
I have $1 billion.
I like the scene where the van is basically just okay. The guys are escaping, and Batman was also what it's showing actually. These two scenes, the introduction of the Joker and the introduction of Batman in this scene, they both show you how smart these two characters are, right? Because obviously Batman is looking, it's like I'm not gonna catch up to these guys if I follow them, directly. Like if I'm following the car, I just need to know exactly when the car is gonna reach a certain point, and then I just have to jump, land at that particular moment to stop it, and that's exactly what he does. He jumps, lands onto the van, and he stops it. Then that's where.
Okay, I actually think
Interesting little thing, tidbit. Doesn't it remind you of that scene from American Psycho, where he does the chainsaw, and then he drops the chainsaw on the process? It's literally almost the same thing, except it's like different. Instead of the chainsaw, it's him, and instead of the lady, it's the car.
I think they died too. I'm pretty sure you can't say they walked away from that car being crushed by Batman's boots.
Right.
But no, I agree with you. There's a parallel there, yeah.
That's a nice little parallel.
I need to watch American Psycho. I think we should do a review on it as well.
I haven't watched it in a while, but yes, it's
like remember by heart, man.
Quick side note: it's so ridiculous how they made a little thing that, in my mind, was insignificant, and how they made it so like, oh my word, this is so important. Like there's a scene where they're showing their business cards, and this guy's like, I've got mine on this paper, and I've got this on that paper, and I use this font, and I use this lettering, and I use this coloring on the font. And the dude literally wanted to kill the guy because he got the best font and lettering and stuff. And he was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Why didn't I think of this? Oh, and you just like, dude, it's a freaking business card. But the way they shot it and the way the character exuded the importance of that thing, you also was like, damn, man, I need to be a business card.
Right.
Because the characters are so completely vain. It's such a cool metaphor. It's why the movie did so much better than the book. Because the book tried to represent the same thing, but it's words on a page, and it didn't translate well enough. So it just felt like 50 boring pages. Right. But when you do it visually like that, it became one of the greatest movies of all time. But again, I don't want to spoil too much. We gotta let man's gotta watch it.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the Dark Knight. I want to talk about but remember, these are two intros for two main characters, basically. So now,
well, I guess you could say the third main character is Harvey Dent, but we'll get to him because he's also introduced in a cool way.
Yes. I was gonna say that the two intros kind of tell you something. The Joker in the first intro kind of tells you that he's a thorn in the side of order, if you actually think about it. Right. The bus is normally traveling in a normal route, there's a thorn in there. The mafia's bank, there's a thorn in there. The bank robbery itself, there's a thorn in there.
Right.
Joker is always stabbing at order, whereas the Batman literally slams through chaos and creates order, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you see there's a movement. People want to create order as well, which is why you get copycats, because they see a movement of people, of us going towards the light, which is why Harvey Dent likes Batman, by the way. It's because he sees that it's working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And before you even see that, you see the pinpricks of the Joker. And then like you get the two intros and then it moves on. I just think that's a cool way to look at it. I mean, that's set up for the hits. But yeah.
And then I'm not sure of the timelines. I could be wrong, but I think what also happens is then there's a courtroom scene where basically Harvey is trying to clean Gotham. And the best way he's trying to do that is to take out all these crime families, the heads of the crime families. And in this case, I think he was getting rid of one of Falcone's people, if not Falcone himself.
No, Falcone's people. One of the
Maroni, no?
Yeah. Genie. No, I agree with you. And then the guy that he's talking to is a hitman that works for Falcone. Yes, you're right.
Right. And this guy is so much under pressure that he tries to kill Harvey, right? He takes out a gun.
That was a setup. Because remember, in the thing he says, I am a witness for Harvey Dent against Falcone.
Right.
But then he changes his testimony halfway through the actual thing. Because remember, Harvey Dent's like, okay, this is what you told us before. And he's like, I never said that. And he's like, okay, what's happening right now?
Right.
I want to treat the witness as hostile. And then and the guy's like, oh, you want to see him hostile? Here we go. And he whips out that gun, which jams. And then Harvey Dent as a badass is like, takes it apart and is like, if you wanna get a job hit right, you better buy American. Rips the gun apart and is like as they're taking away, he's like, I'm not done with my witness.
Yeah.
And the crowd goes wild because Harvey Dent,
he's not scared.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, the first 3 scenes were intro scenes of the main characters.
Yes. I guess so. I just don't know if that was the third intro scene, but I think it might have been the third intro scene.
So they introduced us to the Joker.
Right.
They reintroduced us to where the Batman is right now.
Right.
And then they introduced us to who would be Two-Face.
Yeah, to the law, basically. Because
so they literally
justice.
So they basically literally situated us on what's happening.
Yeah.
So they gave us the main characters. Let's put it that way. Not because we don't know who's the protagonist and who's, but they gave us the main characters who's gonna be pivotal in the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was actually brilliant.
But you get the White Knight, which is what they call Harvey Dent.
Yes.
And of course the Agent of Chaos, who's the Joker. So you get the 3 knights.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically Harvey at this point is working with Commissioner Gordon, who is also, you could say, another main character, even though he's in a supporting role. Gordon trusts Batman because Batman is not part of the system. And Gordon knows that the system is corrupt, Gotham is corrupt, so he trusts someone who's out of the system. Dent is a lawyer, so he's not within the precinct, he's not within Gotham City GP, but he also does not have authority to be doing the things that Batman is doing, because he could lose his license, right? And also he cannot be going out arresting each and every person because he will need to gather evidence, and that's where Commissioner Gordon comes in. So you see that these 3 players need each other, right? Gordon is sort of limited because the system is corrupt. So there's certain things that he'll never be able to access because some people are working with the mafia, so obviously they bury evidence and stuff like that. That's why he needs a Batman or a Two-Face. So I just wanted to explain why these 3 people need each other,
Yeah, no, and Gotham P is so corrupt, it makes South Africa look like a freaking haven. Like, I thought South Africa was corrupt, but Gotham, hi guys.
Gotham is bad, bro.
They do a lot of Chekhov's gun here. With the Harvey Dent and the Commissioner Gordon scene, they do, you described what Chekhov's gun is. But yeah, they do a lot of that in that scene where they set up, hey, your guys are corrupt. I can show you which ones. And then they say, hey, what did they used to call me again? Harvey Dent, what's the name they used to call me by again? And then Thingamajiggy doesn't say it. You know what I mean? That's a cool setup for a later punchline. Right. And then Thingamajiggy, half of your guys are corrupt. Another setup for a later punchline. It's doing multiple things at the same time. It's also showing why they push against each other.
Right.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was good. It was good for foreshadowing because it put you in that space where there's something there, but you don't know what that something is. So when it happens, you go, oh snap!
Right.
So yeah.